Attention! Attention! May I have everyone's attention? It's almost time. So while you're waiting, get a piece of paper out, something to write with. I don't care if it's a pencil, pen, marker, lipstick. I don't care what it is. Then get your movie ready to where all you have to do is press play and get any snacks and drinks you want while waiting, because we're gonna have a blast once we start. Enjoy.
Hello, hello. Wait a second. I just now realized that. That is the wrong image. Give me a sec, y'all. I want that fixed. I don't know why. It's Attack of the Clones. That's weird. Now I gotta fix this. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. It shouldn't take me long. So if you're not ready, get ready now. Because once we start, we ain't stopping. So really quick, where is it? Where is it? I think this is it. I don't know why Attack of the Clones is still on there, but I'm gonna fix it right now. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well. You guys ready? Got all your snacks ready? You already went to the restroom. Here we go. Clone Wars. There we go. Bingo! Let's go. That's looking clean. All right, here we go. So we are not on the show yet. I can't even express how excited I am now that we're in the Clone Wars, guys. If you guys haven't seen this, it's not the greatest movie. But it's a very good start for what's about to be really good, if that makes sense. The Clone Wars show is absolutely amazing. So for all you guys that haven't seen it, I hope you guys enjoy it. For you guys that have seen the Clone Wars show and haven't seen the movie, you guys are in for a treat for some past character development, all right? So here we go. Once I start the timer, that's when we're going to go. I'm going to go ahead and get this ready. Here we go. Remember, guys, write down anything you need to. That's what the piece of paper is for, and we're going to discuss it afterwards, all right? So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, yeah. I haven't watched this in a while, guys, so I'm getting a lot of nostalgia. I love what he just said. Like, what are your sources? I have my ways. That's what I'm talking about, my boy. Yeah, my boy. Let's go. Dang, man. Just come. Love you, man. That's what I'm talking about. Show him, Rex. Yeah. Notice that guy that just showed up. I think I just now realized that. Took me this long to notice it. Just remember that guy. We'll talk about it after. That classic Force theme, baby. That was good. All right. There's no post-credit scene, so I'm gonna pause it, stop it, and we can discuss. Alrighty, so I thought, I mean, you guys kind of know what I already think for the most part. I don't think it's as good as the show, but I don't think the movie is bad, especially after seeing it again for like, I don't know, the 50th time at least, you know. I have noticed actually, I still like, the more I watch it, the more I still pick up new things. Like there's even more characters I saw in the background and stuff that we see in the Clone Wars show and get character development from. Like when we first saw the little hut thing for Zero. Where is it? I'm trying to find the timestamp. Is where we basically got to find her in that palace. I'm like, oh, remember that guy? The guy that was sitting down at the table, like, wanting a drink or something? He is in season 1, I believe, actually, of the Clone Wars show. And he has to do with, like, R2 and stuff. Season 1 or season 2, one of them. I feel like you've been streaming all day. That's because I have. So, yeah, what do you guys think of it? What do you guys think? I wrote down a couple things. I've noticed a lot more Easter eggs, like what I just mentioned. And also, you notice that Ahsoka said, "This is where the fun begins." Like little things like that I've noticed. There's a couple more. Let's see. Oh yeah, one of my favorite parts of this movie is when the clone literally goes up and punches the droid at the beginning, and he just like grabs his hand in pain and then gets shot to death. Man, respect to that clone, man. Fighting to the very death. He's like, I'm out of ammo. Screw this. I'm punching this droid. And you can obviously see how Annie and Ahsoka's relationship gets stronger and stronger. You know what I mean? And then, let's see, what else do I have here? The Padawan mix-up. Yes, I wanted to bring that up just in case anybody was a little bit confused by that. I mean, the whole purpose of this was for Anakin to get a Padawan. Because even in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, right? Qui-Gon wanted Anakin to be his Padawan. And Yoda said impossible to have second. You know what I mean? So you can't have two. You know, that means they have some type of rule of two thing as well. There's the master, then you got the apprentice. So it was just a total, like, you know, Obi-Wan and Yoda just kind of, you know, we're doing this for Anakin, you know. And even Yoda said it, even Anakin actually said himself, like, I have a feeling that this is all your idea somehow, you know. So he obviously sensed something, and even Yoda himself said that what's it called? Anakin has to get used to loss of his pupil. He mentioned that, which made me think, you know, well, when he turns to the dark side, you know, it's all because of loss. And even in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Yoda, Mace Windu said they sense a lot of fear and loss in him. You know, so it makes sense that they're trying to get him ready for this through a Padawan, because she may die or leave or get separated, right? And he has to kind of deal with that loss. So they're kind of like easing that way into him a little bit. And I think there's like 2 more things I wrote down. Oh yes, the Rex and Annie relationship as well. It just expands in the show. But I really loved, you know, that's where more character development comes with Anakin Skywalker, right? Because Rex needed help. That's his bud, you know. That's the guy that's always has his back ever since the start of the Clone Wars back in Episode 2. Obviously, some time has passed, right? That duel, by the way, on Tatooine between him and Dooku was pretty awesome. But Rex needed help. He wanted to go help him. He was going to sacrifice the mission. Anakin gets really attached, you know what I mean? So it's kind of nice to see that even, you know, it was back in Episode 2, think of Attack of the Clones, right? He did that with Padme. Padme fell off the LAAT, and he wanted to go down and save her, right? And Obi-Wan's all, come to your senses, right? And, you know, what would Padme do if she was in your position, right? And he's all, she would do her duty, you know? So, and it was kind of cool that his Padawan, Ahsoka, kind of took that position and being like, hey, we gotta take Jabba's son, all right, up there and get him fixed up. And Rex understood that. He's all, the mission always comes first, sir. That's why I don't know. I love Rex, man. Like, I don't talk to separatist scum. And the whole plot between him, because obviously the Jedi mind tricks and stuff only work on the weak-minded. So if you guys were confused on why that worked on Rex, it didn't. He was faking it. That's why he's all Anakin. He never calls him Anakin, you know? So I just love that. I love that. I haven't seen the show, so I can't compare it, but I thought the movie was average. The plot was good, and the characters were solid. I hated the animation. Feels cheap and unfinished. Okay, yes. This was made, like, a long time ago, years and years and years ago, so yeah, the animation is definitely bad. But yeah, if you like the plot and you like the story, it just gets better from here. The characters get better, more character development. It literally just gets better from here, and so does the animation. You'll notice when we go through the seasons, right? Season 1, it still doesn't have the greatest animation, but you'll notice each season makes a huge improvement, all the way up till Season 7. And Season 7 animation is, oh my goodness, dude, it's so good. I think it's better than even Rebels animation, to be completely honest. But, yeah. The movie was interesting. I enjoyed to watch the becoming of the relationship between Ahsoka and Anakin, since I only watched the show before this. Yeah, definitely good. It's definitely not as good as the show arcs, but it was good. Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree there. Was a solid movie overall. Definitely some good moments in cinematics. Not the greatest movie, though. I agree. Season 7 and 10 animators for just Anakin Terra, lol. Yeah. Yeah, Season 7 animations are really, really, really good. I think that's all I wrote down. You guys have anything in specific that you guys wanted to talk about or bring up? Any plot holes that you think or something? Any questions at all? I'm trying to think what I meant by this. I should have been a little more detailed in this one note. There's one thing I wrote down, but I can't remember what I meant by it. I don't know. I'm trying to look through some of the movie right now. Dang it. But yeah, Obi-Wan is just so troll in here. Like, you know, he's just classic Obi-Wan. Yo, what's up, Star Wars 66? How's it going? But yeah, it's basically the start. You know what I mean? It's just a start off of episode 2, and the show gets so much better. I mean, personally, I think each season gets better and better. Not only character-wise and story-wise and animation-wise, just overall, everything gets better. From season 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 6... I don't think is as good as season 5, but I think that's because they only finished half of it. It's the Lost Mission, so there's only 13 episodes compared to 22. So I'm sure if it had another 12 to 13 episodes, it'd probably be better than season 5, honestly. But season 5 is mind-blowing. So is season 6. Season 7 is also mind-blowing. 5 through 7 is just something else. It feels like, you know, this show's like a whole new level. You know what I mean? Obi-Wan was just trolling Ventress the entire fight. Oh, yeah. And then the general at the beginning. Ah, yes, let's take a seat. Let's get some refreshments up in here. I'll discuss our surrender. Like, oh my gosh. You would think some of these dumb generals would catch on by now. You know what I mean? Like, this is happening. You gotta start executing right away, you know? Obviously it wouldn't have worked, but still. And what I like is, you know, we start to see a lot of failure. You know, we still see Anakin's flaws, but we still see improvement. You know what I mean? Obviously, his fight against Dooku is beyond improvement. Like, that's a lot of improvement from episode 2 to here. We also see the downsides, the flaws of Ahsoka, and we'll get a lot of character development with her going on forward. And then, obviously, Rex. We didn't see him... Well, I guess we did see him fail quite a bit. There's gonna be a whole lot more, you know. Obi's just out here trolling. Yeah, he is. Season 4 was my favorite. What was your favorite arc in season 4? Because we're watching like 6 episodes a day starting next week. So like, let me see. Let me look at. In season 3, they got some good episodes though. In fact, I think my favorite episode, believe it or not, in the entire Clone Wars, at least from the top of my head that I can think about right now, is actually from season 3. It's episode 15. It's called Overlords. I think that's that arc is just one of the best in the entire series, and it adds so much lore to Star Wars, and like as a whole, but really to the whole Grey Jedi aspect too. And for all those people that don't believe that Grey Jedi's exist in Star Wars, I'm like, well, have you seen that episode? They're like, no. I'm like, that's it. That's why, buddy. That's why. I'm sure George Lucas anticipated, and wanted and believed in Grey Jedi's in Star Wars. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made people that can balance the two. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's hard, and that's why you don't see very many of them. But yeah, I don't like how Disney just went like, oh yeah, they're not canon. It's like, bro, Disney, you can't be making calls off of stuff you don't even watch or see. Like, that's one thing I do wonder. I wonder if J.J. Abrams or Ryan Johnson or Kathleen Kennedy. I think Kathleen Kennedy might have, because I think she had some connections over there at Lucasfilm before Disney bought it. But still, I wonder if the directors of the sequel trilogy has even seen the Clone Wars. I'm not saying you gotta like read everything, like every single piece of lore. And I know that's what the Lucasfilm story group's supposed to be, but at least the cinematic stuff, at least the canon shows and the canon movies, you gotta watch all that and understand the story. That way, if the story group does mess up, because they have done that and it contradicts things, and that's why a lot of Disney stuff sucks, is because they're contradicting a lot of the stuff they talk about in the Clone Wars because it's expanded stuff. They only watch the movies and they're like, oh yeah, we can work here. They're like, no, you can't work there. They've already explained this, And that's another thing. In the movie, we also got to see, we saw this in Attack of the Clones as well in episode 2. When Anakin was riding that creature, or was trying, connecting to that creature in the Battle of Geonosis in that arena, right? We also saw him do it with that creature in this movie. You know what I mean? One thing I really like is that they explained that in Star Wars Rebels. That's something that Disney did do right. Is they didn't really show kind of how Jedis did that in the Clone Wars. Not that we necessarily needed it, but it was just one of those cool extra things that we could have, watched and enjoyed and kind of learned from a Jedi's perspective. How the heck are they even controlling them, basically? And Rebels explains that, which I'm not a huge fan of Rebels, but at least they did some stuff right. Also, the droids are a whole vibe. That's really how they act, or that's how I act during calc class. Confused and pretty stupid. Oh my goodness. It hurts to know how much content was cut from season 7. It would have been god tier if they animated all of it. Oh yeah. Not only that, like, forget that. Like, just go way back. Think about if Disney didn't even buy Star Wars. Imagine where Clone Wars would be. I'm pretty sure there'd be over 7 seasons. George Lucas loves Star Wars, and I feel like that's kind of why he had to sell it from his point of view, is because, he would have just he had to be involved in it. And the only way for him to kind of cut it off, is to give someone else control of it, and he sold it. And still, with that intention, he still wanted to be a part of it. And Disney even said this. They said that they knew that he wanted to be a part of it, and that was like that was part of the deal, him to be a part of it. And they basically just went back on their word, which is really scummy. It's another reason why I don't like Lucasfilm. It's dumb. But without getting into all that junk, because we're here to get away from all that stuff, right? To have fun, watch it. I'm here, just not in chat. That's alright, that's alright. The Umbara arc was the best in season 4, but the slave arc and the Obi-Wan undercover was also great. Darth Maul also shows up in the... Yeah. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of spoilers because some people haven't seen it, but yes. The Umbara arc was definitely one of the best arcs as well. Really enjoyed that. The slave arc, when they were undercover, that was also good. The Domino Squad arc, that the only thing about the Domino Squad arc is that it's out of order. That's the only thing that's just a little off for me. I just wish it was a little bit in order, because when you watch it the first time around and you're watching it, episode by episode chronologically, sometimes it's hard to be like, oh, this came way before this, and this came way before this, and this came after that. It's just like some episodes aren't always in chronological, like episode 5 in season 1 is Rookies, right? You're dealing with a lot of Domino Squad members. Well, and later on, I forgot what season, I could be wrong, but I think it's season 3, We get like the clone cadets, right? And we learn about Domino Squad. Well, that takes place way before season 1, episode 5. You know, because that's they're shinies in number 5. They're cadets even before that. So, yeah. The Umbara arc just hurts me to my core. Oh yeah, dude, for sure. That's why when I did my Captain Rex edit on the channel, a lot of it was Umbara, and I didn't want all of it to be Umbara. I mean, you could easily make a long video just about Umbara because there's so much stuff in the Umbara arc. It's amazing. But yeah, there's so much emotion. There just is. You know, you learn to love these characters. Like, there's characters I love in this show that, compared to the movies, it's just like, some of the movie characters I'm like, yeah, they're cool, but this character's way, way better. You know what I mean? So it's definitely really cool. Really cool. The Clone Cadets was in season 2. Was it? Yeah, I'm probably wrong. Let me look. I want to look. Because I think the end... I could be wrong here too, but I think the end of season 1 is kind of where we get to first see Cad Bane, which is pretty tight. And then that continues season 2. I could be wrong there. I don't know. I know Cad Bane shows up quite a bit throughout the series, which is also cool. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's some arcs I wasn't really a big fan of in the show, but we'll talk about that once we actually get there, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's some mind-blowing crap. Like, I bet you if you guys haven't seen the movie or show, it's a lot of them are going to blow your mind. They blew my mind. And I watched the movies over and over and over again. And once I watched that show for the first time and I was seeing stuff, I was like, dude, no way. No way. I'm like, George Lucas is a mastermind, dude. He is. When it comes to the storytelling, it's just like, he hits it right on the nose every single time. And he doesn't contradict himself. And it's just like, it's hard not to contradict yourself when you're dealing with a story this big. You know what I mean? And you're making all these rule sets, and it's just crazy. I think it's really, really cool. But if that's all you guys wrote down, you guys don't have any questions, then that will be it for the stream. At least for this one. I'll be streaming again on my other channel, doing, you know, those free movies over there. Looks like that's it for chat. I'm looking. I already talked about everything I wanted to bring up. Can't wait to watch Rebels. The only episode I have watched was the Twin Sons for obvious reasons. Oh, yes. That's some of the best, but not the best. And I'll tell you why. Well, I don't want to Twilight if you haven't seen it, so I'll shut up. But yeah, Twin Sons is definitely one of the best episodes, but there's a better one. There's a better one. And I can't wait for you to watch that one, especially after we rewatch the Clone Wars here before we head into Rebels. That's going to be absolutely awesome. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. That character is a part of it. You know what I mean? He is a big part of season 5. And even without him, I feel like season 5 could probably stand on its own. The only thing I am not a huge fan of in season 5 would probably be, I don't know, the Andron arc. It was okay. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, you know. I feel like it kind of, because it started out strong, you know, and then it was like, it took a little dip, in my opinion, with the Andron arc. Because I can't even talk. The Andron arc, I still think it was good, but I don't know. What we were having, though, it definitely took a break. So, I mean, I don't know. That took a little dip. But then we got into the Kyber crystals and building lightsabers and Ahsoka and different younglings. And I love that because it just expanded more of the story of things we didn't know. And it sets up more lore. When they set up more lore like that and it's good, I love that. I love that. That tops a lot of the other entertaining stuff for me. But yeah, I think all of them are pretty dang good in season 5, with the exception of like the little droid arc. I thought that was probably one of the worst arcs in the entire show. I don't know why the heck they added that in season 5. I mean, I guess it's okay, but personally, like they spent, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they spent 4 episodes on that, and I was like, dude, Really? I mean, obviously the last the last two of those four weren't bad because of Gregor, especially that last one with the Gregor. But still, like, you could have introduced Gregor like in a way better way. I wasn't a huge fan of that part, but yeah, I think it was. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up because I'm curious. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, episode 1, good. 2, 3, and 4 were okay. Then it picks back up at 5, 6, 7. 8's pretty good. 9's pretty good. 10, it takes a dip. 11, it takes a dip. 12, it gets a bit better. 13, pretty good just because of the ending. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 are absolutely amazing. 20 is probably the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Regarding like movies and shows. By far. I mean, the season 7 one, the season 7 episode where was it? I'm trying to think what episode. I could be wrong, but I think it was episode 11. No, it was the last episode. It was episode 12. It was the very last one of the season. I remember that. Where, Captain Rex, has that little bit of emotion, you know what I mean? That was probably like one of the other saddest things, but season 5, dude, just crushes my heart every time. Every time. The second arc in season 7 was the worst in my opinion. Out of the entire show, I don't think so. I mean, I didn't think it was that great, but I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. Not as much as like some of the other stuff, obviously, but there were some arcs that I don't know. I just felt like they were kind of boring. There was like 2 or 3 arcs like that, 4-episode arcs. You know what I mean? The Corrin one under the water, I think that had some good parts and also like some boring parts. I had a lot of boring parts actually. Plo Koon was cool in that, but I don't know. I just wasn't a huge fan of that arc either, to be honest. But yeah, we got more character development for Ahsoka in those, so I'm not really hating on those. I kind of like those. Not as much as, the only reason why I was a little disappointed by those 4 is because, hey, it was the last season. You better make all 12 episodes great. You know what I mean? Like, the last 4 episodes of season 7, they should have done the whole season like that, in my opinion. If they were going to just stop after season 7, like, if you, like, in my head, this is what I think, right? If they buy that off of, George Lucas, they obviously can do whatever they want, and they're obviously doing whatever they want. But I felt like Star Wars would be so much more successful if they just continued working with George Lucas on the Clone Wars. It just did not stop the Clone Wars. Just didn't stop it. Keep on doing what George Lucas has started, try the new animation stuff with the new technology and resources that Disney has. And, work together. Get the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Get the last 4 episodes, what we did for season 7, for like every episode for the rest of the Clone Wars. I would have preferred that way over the sequels. Even if George Lucas was involved in the sequels, I love the Clone Wars. Clone Wars is amazing. The droid arc at least had Republic commit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it had Gregor. So I'm trying not to spoil anything. So I'm like trying to like go around it, but also discuss it, because when we talk about some of the stuff, the people that haven't seen it, they're like, "What are you guys even talking about? You weirdos." But they'll see once they watch it. You know what I mean? How's it going, Grades? Did you watch the whole show? We didn't watch the whole show. We watched the whole movie. We're not getting into the show today. We're actually just doing the movie. And then next Friday we are starting the show. We'll be watching episodes 1 through 6. So we're gonna be watching Ambush, right, all the way up to. We're gonna be watching Downfall of the Droid. That'll be our last one, and Duel of the Droids. See, that's the only thing I have a problem with. That is like I'm trying to fit as much as I can. But I mean, they have recaps, so that'll help. But like, we're in the middle of an arc. 6 and 7 go together. So I'm like cutting in half. Like, okay, 1 through 6. We're watching that this Friday. Next Friday, we're starting with season 7. So I am glad we're going to be watching the recaps. We're not going to be skipping any of the recaps because we are having a week in between some of these arcs sometimes. I don't know where it would land with the Umbara arc, but I do not want to take a break. So who knows? Maybe sometimes we'll do like more than 6 episodes, and maybe sometimes we'll just do a little less, depending on what goes where. If you know what I mean. But yeah, what's up, Cat? I'm gonna go because I don't want to get too much spoiled for me. I'll be at the Great Plays game stream. All right, sounds good. I'm gonna be ending the stream right now because looks like we're all done talking about the movie anyways. So yeah, I don't want to get into spoilers or anything because I don't want people to get it spoiled. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this stream, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie as much as I did. Love watching this stuff with you guys. If you guys want to watch more stuff with me that isn't Star Wars, head over there to Gray Plays Games. That's my other channel. I'm gonna be watching 2 episodes of Monk. So even if you don't even have to have any money at all, you don't have to have any subscription service or whatever. I'm gonna show you guys how to get it completely for free. If you guys are into that. If you guys have already seen it, maybe you want to watch it again. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, I recommend coming, hanging out, see if you like it. You might like it. It's more like a detective show, but it's kind of like a comedy, drama, funny one, I guess you could say. And then we're going to be doing the season finale of WandaVision after that. So if you guys have Disney Plus and you haven't seen the last episode of WandaVision and you want to, I'll be watching that after 2 episodes a month. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. You know, and if you're not going to be at the stream, hope you have a great rest of your night. Hope you get a good night's rest, guys. And may the Force be with you always.